Good evening. It's Thursday, July 16th, 2026, and welcome to a very special episode of the Hall of Fame Club podcast, brought to you by the Broken Bell Network. Tonight, the fellows are sitting down with John Durso, founder of Homers for Hope, which means we are going to ask for your help raising some money to help support a deserving family, as well as spreading the word about all the great things that Homers for Hope does throughout the year. Gentlemen, how you doing this evening?
Um, Doing good, fellas. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Eric, thanks for joining us.
I'm just there's a couple of things I'm gonna point out. Durst, how you feeling, man? Oh jeez, Eric. My God. Durso, how you feeling, bro?
I'm good, guys. Thanks for having us back on the program.
Always. Love having you. I love what you guys do. Couldn't be happier to be a part of it. But a couple of things I'm just gonna call out on the carpet here, just because there just always has to be. Hey, future champ.
Yes.
Hold up what you're drinking right now for everybody.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Nice tall glass of milk.
Okay. I don't even have to say anything. That's ridiculous. Okay.
Right.
Secondly, I want everyone to notice that at one point, Fuzzy did put on a Phillies luchador mask. He almost died in the process because it almost suffocated him. So I hope that he goes and puts that back on. But we do have the one, the only Mr. John Durso, who I got to be honest with you. We've only now our second time doing something together in terms of like events and things like that. And oh my God,
That looks even damn worse.
that is so scary. My God. Can you breathe in that, bro?
Can't even talk.
He can't talk. His jaw. Try and say seriously. Say something.
Did your wife buy that for you?
Why is it shut like he's...
She was like, "You're
Kanye.
skinny." She's like, "You're skinny. You can fit in this."
You don't even sound like you in that.
I would be a great ventriloquist because you can't see my lips moving.
He couldn't even say ventriloquist.
Yeah, he could. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like let's not act like he doesn't have a speech impediment
Yeah,
anyway.
he couldn't talk before this.
Right. All right. So let's get down to the nitty gritty. It's the 5th annual Souls Derby.
Yes, 5th annual, but it's actually our 40th home run derby.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. 15 years. We finished up our 15th year.
Yeah, because you're running those little like pocket kind of like fundraisers and things like that also go along with like the bigger Souls event, right?
And for a couple years, we had multiple derbies. Yeah.
Oh wow! Just to be able to and look, let's be honest, having the the All-Star game here and just recently the World Cup. There's a lot of sports like fever flowing through this city and this entire area right now. And
all of them were appetizers for our entree. They weren't good enough. We are the headliner. Let's get that straight.
No, it was the setup to it's like you don't roll out the main course. It's they were the warm-up events too.
That's right.
It's a spectacular day, which is, again, as we said, August 1st. It will be on Saturday. It is at Trenton Thunder Ballpark. It is literally 20 minutes from Philadelphia here. And we do have a family that is being sponsored this year. It is the Monto family. We will get into more of their details with John as we get into it. But we're going to kind of first get into our bragging rights here. We got Fuzzy participating this year. We have JV participating this year. Eric, are you in?
I'll be there, but I am not partaking.
All right. Are you pitching to them?
I was a one and done. I will pitch to them if they want.
Okay. All right. I don't know what the deal is and all that stuff. I know I'll be doing the podcasting and the recording stuff. So I know I can't just obviously do all that. But listen, I want to get to the heart of this event because it is a great day out. It is It could be an all-day thing if you want it to be. It could be a half-a-day thing. It could be an evening thing. It could be a whatever thing. John, I want you to walk us through, how does the Souls Home Run Derby work? If you're someone like a fan walking in at Trenton Thunder Ballpark, what are they going to expect to see?
Yeah, thanks. It is like you said, open house style, right? So right around noon, we open the gates. As you walk in, you come in from the home plate / third base area, basically the front door of the ballpark. And the first thing you do when you get up to the top is there's a merchandise desk with all these amazing T-shirts and hats and raffle items and auction items and all kinds of great stuff that you can buy and bid on, all to help local families that had a tragedy, because that's what we do. We do baseball stuff and softball stuff, and we are a 501c3, so you get a charitable receipt with your donation, and we find local families that had some type of tragedy. Sometimes mom or dad got injured at work, the right insurances weren't in place. Sometimes people unfortunately passed away, the insurance wasn't in place. Super unfortunately, the last couple of years, it's been situations where children were sick, sometimes cancer, sometimes other things. And we've helped close to 50 families in the last 15 years. And just about a month ago, I paid a bill for somebody's Pico bill, and it accounted for $500,000 in bills paid since we started. So that was like a big milestone for us. And yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's a big deal. We don't have any paid employees, we do this in the summertime. Everybody's volunteering. So to get to a milestone like that, even though it took us 15 years, I wish it took us 15 days, but we got there. So we're happy about that. Back to the day, right? So noon, softball home run derby, and we take anybody who can pick up a bat and they want to raise money. I mean, really, probably freshmen in high school is his youngest. Our oldest player was in their 60s one year. Male, female, we don't care. If you want to help a family in need and you want to hit some softballs, we're a great place to do it. They do have to register in advance, and they do have to raise a minimum of $250 by the night before in order to play. So that would be the July 30th. 31st. So website homersforhope.org. Go there. You should be able to sign up for it. We'll put links, to the sign up page. That goes from noon to 4. We will crown a champion. The champion will get a heavyweight championship belt that has been passed from one champion to the next for years and years and years. And then we turn the field over, and right around 5:30, there's going to be a men's hardball game. Similar to what you would get from the Trenton Thunder Stadium, with a lot of washed up has-beens who suck. It's going to be embarrassing. There's going to be a lot of pulled hamstrings and backs that are hurt, especially egos that are hurt. But it'll be a good time. Promise. There will be concession stands and beer, so that's how I know we'll have a good time. And that'll go from 5 till about 9. So if you're looking to make a day of it, just an evening, you want to get the kids out of the house, get a lot of autographs of people who don't mean anything at all. It's a great place to go. But the competition is pretty stiff. I mean, that home run derby is no joke. There are people, there's major league players that are going to be in it. The record for exit velocity is 104 on a softball. The distance record is 485 feet. So, I mean, that softball derby is no joke. It's a great time. So hopefully, people can join us. And the one thing which I imagine we'll segue to, which was new last year, returning by popular demand, is going to be the podcast home run derby, the podcaster derby, which we do right before the championship of the regular derby. And we're bringing that back.
I can't wait. That's going to be so much fun.
Can't
I gotta
imagine
say,
a
I
man
had a-
name other than Fuzzy.
It was a great time last year. I brought my now 11-year-old with me, and he was having a blast there. He's looking forward to it this year. He already asked me if he could start doing some interviews again and get people lined up for that. I'm like, absolutely, bro. Take over. Be on air and get some interviews in there. So it's great for the whole family. The wife and daughter were there as well. They were enjoying it, day out in the sunshine. and having
It was
fun
hot.
and making fun of Fuzzy while he was doing stuff.
It was
It
warm.
Trying to swing. So
It was hot as balls.
When you're
you
dressed
guys were
like an
on
idiot, yeah.
yeah. You're on the field. First of all, you're cooking down there anyway. You're in the bin, so yes, it's going to be hotter anyway. I mean, I get it was a hot day. I'm not taking that away from you, but dude, you were on the field in that mask. That makes no sense. That was on you.
It was, and like I said, I did it for fun. Listen, I didn't know if I was going to win. I didn't know if we were going to do this again. But listen, and one of the things that John had brought up after we did the recap last year was it was corny, but yeah, kids come up asking for my autograph for me to sign a baseball, to sign a
They were excited. My nephews came up and they were like, "Where's Fuzzy? Where's Corey?" The kids wanted their picture with the champ, man. They did.
It
And they
wasn't
loved
corny. It is.
Well,
I'm
saying,
telling you, it's a fantastic free day out for families.
No, it's
super inexpensive to get a hot dog there.
I didn't expect it, is what I mean. So for some little kid to come up and ask for my autograph, after I just got done being interviewed, why I almost died on live air with the sports network, I was like, oh yeah, sure. And then being presented with the belt, and then I dropped it. You handed it to me, and then I dropped it. It was It was like who was it that threw the trash can in the belt after they left WWF? Keith.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Is everything open at Trenton Thunder in terms of all of their places to eat in there?
No, just they open up one concession stand for us. Bathrooms are open, of course.
Yeah.
We do have one booth that's going to be open. That's going to be air conditioned in case somebody can't take the heat that well, or if you have parents with young children or senior citizens that need to get out of the heat for a little bit, we'll have that open. But I'll tell you what else is a lot of fun. We have kids, full little league teams in full uniform, shagging flies in the outfield, man. This is the same outfield Aaron Judge was running around in just a couple years ago.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that's really cool. Me and Eric were talking last year, and I'm like, dude, regardless of what happens, we legitimately have swung a bat on the field where Aaron Judge, Derek Jeter, legends have played baseball. It's one
and you
thing
go and sully it.
This is true. I got to throw a first pitch from that mound that
Well, I don't know if I'd call that throwing from the mound. That was kind of. Do we have that video?
Scott Air call you out. Yeah, when you have Scott Air call you out on it, it's the first thing he said was, "You weren't even standing on the mound, man."
Yeah.
No. He said, "Did the pitcher throw a no hitter?" Is what he said.
Yeah, the guy after him. Did he throw a no hitter?
Because he threw out the first pitch in Roy Halladay's no hitter in the playoffs.
I think what else was great was after you threw out your first pitch, you were wearing your mask, you were wearing your belt, you were trying to suck it in as best you can and look all butch, and you were flanked on either side by a mascot, and one of them was shooting a bubble gun, and there were all these beautiful bubbles all over. You're like, but that's what you get. You win the podcast championship. You're throwing out a first pitch someplace.
Nice.
That's awesome.
I'm looking forward to doing that.
I have video I wanted to share with you, John, of the day. He threw out the first pitch, but let's get back into the the pluggy time. So talk to me about the way you guys do direct assistance donations to these families. And do you have anything to share about our current family? I know they can go to the website, so you guys can see down at the bottom. That is homersforhope.org if you want to sign up and just see what the organization is about. Yep. Facts, figures do not lie. It is a lot of people giving up a lot of time, and $500,000 doesn't sound like a lot, but it is a lot of hard work, and it is much appreciated for these families in need. And the reason I say it doesn't sound like a lot is because you hear about Mr. Beast can do one video and get $4 million on it. And we live in a weird, cynical time of money, but every penny here does really, truly matter. and you have really saved people from facing the most hardest and difficult things. And I know times are tough right now, and I really do. So can you get kind of into the direct donation formula you have and talk about how those volunteers make all of that possible so you don't have the overhead?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. So you're right. I mean, we've saved people from losing their house, and if you don't think your $5 bill matters, just ask the family who got it. All right, we have stories upon stories, video upon letters. I mean, if you go to our YouTube page, there's videos all over the place with it. But basically, how we work, we are a 501c3. So when you donate the money, well, let's look at the particular event. All the money that's raised by all the different players and the sponsors, all of that goes into one pot. Anybody who's donating, they get charitable receipts. And, you know, if a business wants to get their logo up on the Jumbotron, I think we're doing it for $500. I mean, it's cheap, right? Great photo for your office, having your logo on the Jumbotron, you know, blown up. So all that goes into a pot. We then pay for all the expenses of the event. So again, there's no paid employees. So I'm not making any money, some money on. All that money goes into a pot. And then our board, who are 7 or 8 people that are just members of the business community, they're tasked with the job of deciding what's best to do with the funds, right? So sometimes we take some and put it into what's called our emergency fund. That's for families that we don't know about yet, right? So in the middle of December, when we're not having any derbies anytime soon, if someone's in trouble and they need a little help, we have something for them. So every event we do, some money goes into that. A little bit of money is saved in our reserves to pay like our accountant and QuickBooks and things like that. The rest of it is usually donated to the particular family who is the spokesperson family for this derby, or for the baseball team from earlier this summer, the Dominguez family, or from last year, the Myers family. All the families are on homersforhope.org. So the family that we're helping specifically for the Souls Derby on August 1st and the baseball game afterward, all of those fundraisers are rolling up to one family, and they're called the Monto family, Monto. They're from Manville, New Jersey, not Mansville, Manville, New Jersey. And they have a son named AJ, who's a young guy. He's about 11 years old, and he's just faced all kinds of issues growing up with his heart, different diseases, some physical malformalities that no, I'm saying that word wrong, but he's had to overcome lots of different surgeries. He's had ventricular septal defects. I'm kind of reading off my notes here. Atrial septal defects, necrotizing enterocolitis. I'm sure there's a nurse or a doctor out there that's like laughing their butt off correcting me on these things. But he's had multiple stays in CHOP, and he's been in and out of CHOP. He's had brain bleeds. I mean, this kid has had it. You name it, he's had it, and he's bounced back from it. And if you see his picture on the website, it's like the happiest little kid. I actually can't wait to meet him. I've heard so much about him. I've talked to his parents. I've talked to his parents' coworkers. Tommy Malika, who has been he's a coworker of the AJ's dad. He's been a huge supporter of Homers for Hope for years. He's played in at least 5 of our derbies, if not more. So how we pick the families, someone who knows our organization well, like Tommy, will say, hey, listen, I've got a coworker who's going through some stuff. Or it might be, somebody we hear about. But typically every single family is vetted, right? A board member has to interview them, in some cases go to their house. So one thing that many things we're very proud of, but our process, we've heard of fundraising websites who shall remain nameless, having fraud and issues like that. We're very small, which is a good thing. We're nimble. There's literally no fraud for 15 years. We interview every single family. We go to their house. We talk to people that know them. We do background checks. We look them up on Facebook and Instagram and everything. We know that where our funds are going is a legitimate cause. The other critical element is that the families never actually receive cash or any kind of like account that they can touch. every single bill is submitted to me, and I sit at my kitchen table and I literally write a check, old school, because I want the paper trail, right? And I pay every bill after we vet the bill that they're going to pay. So essentially, these families, they're not getting money, but we're granting them the ability for us to pay their bills, like their mortgage, their electric bill, their car payments, things like that, the stuff that you need every day to live. And the point of doing all this is not to, like, somebody wins the lottery and then they can just run off to Florida. Like, that's not what we're doing here. The idea is, if your kid has to go to CHOP every day and doctors every other day, one of you two is going to have to leave your work. And that's just what happens. The other one picks up extra shifts and is going crazy trying to pay the bills. Inevitably, they fall behind. They start using their life savings to pay the bills, or they jump straight to credit cards. What we're trying to do is bridge that gap so that they don't have to touch their life savings. They don't have to dip into credit cards. And hopefully, over the course of 6 months, a year sometimes, we've had a family that we're helping for 2 years. We raised so much money. 2 years. Imagine getting your mortgage paid and your gas and electric paid for 2 years while you're just concentrating on your kids' health. Like, that's what we're trying to do. And the anxiety level, now this is not something I intended, but multiple families have told me this. The anxiety level of opening the mail, just the simple act of opening the mail, goes down. Because if you put yourself in these people's situation for a second, the mail comes and it's full of past due bills that are overdue and notices that something's getting repossessed. They can't even do it. They just put it in a drawer and they just go back to the kid and they go worry about the kid. Here, they open it, they snap a picture, text it to me, and shred the thing, and it's taken care of. And of course, I follow up and make sure, and I communicate with all the families during the process. So it's not just money. There's a lot of mental stability that comes along with it for these things. And I hope everybody watching and listening never has to go through this, because it's terrible, whatever the case is. But it's really good to know that there are people like you four and all of our volunteers and all of our sponsors and ball players that, they don't know AJ. They don't know him, but they heard about his story and they can do something about it. So they are. And I'm just the lucky person that's the ring. Like, I just wrangle people. None of it can happen without people like you and people like our players and our other volunteers and stuff. So, if you have the ability to get up off the couch and do something for somebody else, do it. Why not? They'll be there for you if you need it. So,
definitely agree with that. It's like you said, you see it in little pockets here and there, and even other groups where people are stepping up to help, whether it's just a neighbor or it's through another charity or whatever. Like, I can understand for those families how much it takes off, how much stress it takes it off of them. So, it's definitely appreciated what you guys are doing. And, just kind of for the record, John, like, I know you said it's all volunteers. What is your day job that you do every day to pay your bills, and then you do this on top of it?
Gator don't talk about that. No. Gator don't talk about it.
Yeah. I've been in between stuff for a long time. I've been doing consulting work. I've been helping out with different projects with different business owners that I've known over the years. I was a banker for a really long time, and left banking in 2020, right in the pandemic. And I've been mainly doing culture and leadership training for smaller companies and keeping options open, kind of a thing.
Right. But all that takes up a lot of time. So just to kind of drive that point home, like, you have your own life that you're managing and trying to run your day to day, and then you're doing this on top of it. So again, I can't say thank you to you enough for all that you're doing just to keep this going. And that $500,000 is a tribute to the work that you've done on behalf of Homer's.
I appreciate that. I have a great spouse and partner in crime with this thing, and she puts up with a lot of crap, but she's always there at the front desk running it with a smile.
Katie's
awesome, dude.
Katie is good people.
Yes.
Very.
You know,
cool.
it's funny because I went to an event at the Trenton Thunder Stadium that you guys sponsored, and obviously I got to throw out the first pitch, but like just everything, like really talking to the different people, like it's everybody from different when I say different parts of the world, I legitimately mean different parts of the world, because the one guy was from Delco, the other guy who was it, he was going to Dominican Republic, he was on your baseball team.
Yeah.
like
We are international.
literally, like it's he's like, yeah, I'm meeting with David Ortiz's lawyer. So like the connections that you guys have and that you bring, it opens up the world. Like it opens up, like I always sit there and say, there's, with all the bad stuff that goes in the world, there's more good people in this world than there are bad people. And the Homers for Hope day at the Trenton Thunder, it is. And you don't see the behind the scenes of what you do when you get a text, when you go to the house, because I'll tell you right now, I didn't know. I just found out that you went to the house. I assumed you do your social media checkups because that's easy, but like going to someone's house and meet and doing that, like you don't hear about that. You also don't hear about grown men playing baseball for a cause, knowing they have to raise this amount of money. Like you just don't. And you guys had your Homers for Hope game a couple Sundays ago, and the other team raised $1,000 for you. Like what?
Yeah, dude, that was awesome. That happens from time to time. Our competitors actually chip in. Last year, the team that played against us in the Trenton Thunder Stadium, they're from Middletown, Bucks County, the Mammoth, they're called. They were great. They had to have brought 75 people to the stadium to watch the game. And they raised, I think it was like $4,000. I mean, they did a really, really
Wow.
That game was like a home game for them. I mean, they had more fans than our team did. Probably because our team knows how good we are. They don't show up.
So you sit there and you talk about the sponsorships, and like I said last year, we just brought you on just to talk about it. Like I was not intending to go out, win a derby, hurt my back for 6 weeks, and walk around in a heated mask. But like when I walked into Trenton Thunder and I saw the Broken Bell Network logo up on a baseball stadium,
it's pretty
like that like we were up there and Drunk Phil's fans were up there. Like I don't think you realize how cool that is. Like
it's pretty cool. Like the first time.
Because like when you sit there and you think about it, like we are 4 guys, and we have our other guy Tyler, who was our hype guy, and we have our girl Samantha, who covers the hockey. Like we do this as a hobby. Like we legitimately, it's a hobby for us to sit here, talk sports, complain about the Phillies, complain about the Eagles, complain about Philly sports. To see this go and walk in and see your logo on that, it's like, whoa, maybe we are doing something right by just having fun and doing this. Like, because that was cool. Like, we went to Trenton Thunder when they announced my name, hearing the Broken Bell Network. Like, it's not a lot, but there was a lot of people in those stands. There were like 5,000 people in those stands who heard our Broken Bell Network. Like, that's crazy. Like that was insane to me.
You got Derek checking in. Derek is the proprietor. I like saying it. Proprietor of the Monkey's Uncle out in Doylestown, right?
Monkey's Uncle supplies us very generously.
Show them what you're wearing.
All of our gear. Yeah. Is it Derek Morgan special? This was from, I'll tell you what, this was all the stuff we get is limited time only, right? So boom. And we had a baby blue version of this with a maroon logo. And that was for a very special event. That was about 3 years ago. The Major League Baseball Players Alumni Association played against us in a softball game at FDR Park. The manager was Charlie Manuel.
Thank you.
And I told this story last year when I was on here. I got to hang out with Charlie Manuel for half an hour, just me and him on a park bench in FDR, talking about all kinds of stuff. And I don't want to, we can revisit it if you want, but I did tell that last year we were here.
Yeah.
Shooting
the shit with Charlie.
What's that?
Shooting the shit with Charlie.
Yeah, man.
All right. So we're going to keep it upbeat, but I'm so
After you just said we like to complain about this and complain about that and complain about this and complain about
I want you, because I called you out on Drunk Phil's fans podcast, which you were on last week, which was good stuff. And I don't know if I told the story to these guys in the chat. I don't think I did, but you are going to tell the Jesse Biddle story.
Oh, the Jesse Biddle. Okay, cool. So,
and everyone knows who Jesse Biddle is, right? Ex Major League Baseball player,
Penn Charter guy, long career, bounced around a little bit from team to team. But hey, this is not a cup of coffee guy. This is Jesse Biddle. He's a professional Major League Baseball pitcher. Look him up. He's good, right? So he retires. His best friend from high school, who was his catcher, plays on the Northampton Angels in our league. All right. Jesse's like 34 years old, something like that. I am 47. Okay. Most of the guys in the league are north of 45. So we have that date against Jesse Biddle's team circled on our calendar. Right. So the night before, I'm talking with my catcher because I have, of course, drew the short straw and I get to start that game as a pitcher. Okay. And now Jesse is a phenomenal hitter. And you never got to see him hit in the pros because they stopped letting pitchers hit, right? But my catcher's like, nah, Jesse can't hit, dude. Jesse can't hit. He's just a pitcher. He can't. I'm like, listen, man, this guy's a professional athlete who's being paid lots of money to not work at a bank. You know, I mean, like he's really, he's not like you and me. Okay. He's wired differently. If you ever meet these pro guys, they are completely athletically wired different. Right. And I've faced people like him before, and I've learned they have a range. If you throw harder than their range, they can't hit it. And if you throw softer than their range, they have a problem. So I told Sean, we are going to, if I can underhand it to him, I will. So we're going to go slow. And he's like, nah, he's just a guy. He's just a guy. Go at him. You know, what do you got to lose the first at bat? What do you got to lose? And I'm like, look, no.
Dignity.
Right? Dignity.
Everything.
Yeah.
So I go out.
He has a family.
So we're the away team. Somehow we score like one run off of one of their aces, and we left the bases loaded. So we went through like 6 hitter. And I'm like, all right, we can hit their guy. This is going to, and in my mind, I'm going, this is going to be a 13-12 game. Like, it's just, that's how it's going to be. And I'm up 1-0. So bottom of the first, I get the first out. Next guy gets on base. Here comes Jesse Biddle. And I look in at Sean, and Sean comes out and he takes his mask and he's like, and I'm like, oh my God. So I turn around to Derek, who's playing second base, and I go, this is Sean's fault. And he goes, what is Sean? He goes, what's Sean's fault? So I look into Sean, and he's like, fastball. And I shake no, and I mouth, no. So then he calls my best pitch, which is a slider, right? So he's like, drops a 3. I'm like, all right, good, right? So I'm like, all right, we're gonna try it. And I uncorked the nastiest slider I've thrown in 10 years. Like pitchers know, like when you just throw something and it's nasty, you know it when you get to about here.
It was the best you knew you can. It was golden off your fingers.
I am like, this is the best pitch he's going to see. He's a lefty. It's a back foot slider. And when I went from here to here, that I heard, and the ball was in the fucking tree. Excuse my French. I saw feathers. It hit a bird. I'm like, oh my God. And he's rounding first, and I'm just staring at Sean.
Yeah, if our editors can cut that the fuck out,
Excuse me.
I would appreciate that.
I'm the charity guy. I'm not.
No, stop it, dude. That's getting.
That's the only reaction you can have. Like, and you sit there and like, I'm throwing the best pitch ever, and you look back and 492 feet later, you're like,
exactly.
Now it gets better.
Yeah,
it gets better. So
I know it gets better.
His bat speed. And that's the thing with these guys. Their bat speed. It's just like I don't even know. So. I look at Sean, and Sean, I'm like, so he takes his mask off. He goes, okay, we'll pitch around him next time. And I'm like, yeah, right. Sure. So I get out of the inning. I go back. I think we score another run and tie it. I go back out to the mound, and I'm still stewing about this a little bit. And I look over my shoulder, and there's 2 blue jerseys in the woods looking for the ball. Now, coming into this game, it was the 6th game of the year coming in. He had 7 home runs. All right. Guess who was tied for second place?
I love this. I love this. I love this.
Guess who's tied? Everyone else in the whole league, because nobody hit a friggin' home run.
Right. Everybody else.
Nobody can hit. It's an old man league, and he's in here with 7 home runs in 6 games. So I'm like, Sean, we're not pitching to him. Anyway, so now I'm irritated, right? Because I'm like, you're looking for the ball on me too. So I call timeout in front of everybody. And I'm on the mound, and I'm yelling over at the other dog. And I'm like, Tim's a friend of mine on the other. Tim, where's Biddle? Where's Biddle? And then he's like, why? He's like, pitch. I'm like, no, where's Biddle? So they go get him. And now I'm walking over to the fence, and I'm all mad. Now, of course, I am 5'1", 225 pounds. Like I'm a little piece of sausage. And Biddle's like 6'6", he's like 200, he's cut. And he's like, what? I said, look, man, if it's that important for you to tell your mom and your friends that you homered off John Durso, don't send your guys into the woods to get the ball. I'll give you my number. You can just call me when you're at the bar telling them, and I'll come on the phone. I'm like, yeah, he did. It's for real. Yeah. And he starts laughing. And, we kind of became cool after that. And then a couple weeks later, I reached out to him to see if he'll play in the Derby. And of course I text him. I'm like, yo, I let you have that one for free. But, I need you to kind of show up over here and do this Derby thing. So we're in the process of working that out. But
nice.
Ask everybody I know. Not only do I give a home run up to every batter I ever face, but they're long, man. They're really, really far when I give them up.
It's funny you talk about this because, like I said years ago, like you said, when you throw that best pitch, and I used to play hardball with Derek down in North Philly and in Kensington, and whatever field was down there, and I threw Derek my best curveball, and I had no doubt in my mind he hit an L. He hit the L.
Mm-hmm.
That shit was gone.
Mm-hmm.
Derek didn't even bother to turn around with that Viddle bomb. He said, I know. I mean,
I would have turned around just to see how far it went. Like, I would just want to know.
But yeah, no, it's funny. Like when you sit there and like I joke around. Like you sit there when you think you throw the best pitch of your life, and the minute you look at it, you're like, I should have hit him.
Now I will tell you, I have a nasty ephus.
You and Stubbsy, huh?
Dude, I have it on tape. I have a video of it with a radar gun on it.
You do the old
Did it register?
Yeah, man, 29. Yeah.
Nice.
I know he's like
I didn't know if
the most ridiculous looking.
No. It looks like a pitch. It looks like a regular pitch, and it comes in over the plate. It comes straight down on top of the plate. It's like 29 miles an hour.
Calm down there, Henry.
And then when I follow it up with 63, it looks like it's 83.
And then when he's done, he goes to the dugout and has a Newport or a Lucky Strike, one of those new filtered Lucky Strikes. Are you kidding me?
Calm down there, Henry Rowan-Guard. Yeah, and his radar gun is in kilometers. But yeah, yeah, that's it's kind of cool. Like you said, you have a former Major League Baseball player coming out. Like, we have a couple. We have. I know, but it's like Jesse Biddle is probably the most famous known, in my opinion. I could be wrong.
He'll be one of the local ones you'll know, but Vic Pascuzzi, who's a name you don't know, but he had a major league career. He'll be playing in it. Mike Johnson will be playing in it, not the Mike Johnson from the Philadelphia Yankees, our guy we know, but a different Mike Johnson who pitched for the Pittsburgh Pirates. We talk about the body frame of professional guys. These guys are huge. They're like two refrigerators stacked on top of each other. It's crazy.
And then meanwhile, you got Fuzzy out there doing stuff like this. Here we go.
Special first pitch, representing Homers for Hope, is host of the Broken Bell Network Sparks Podcast. And Homers for Hope 2025 podcaster.
That's actually less embarrassing than what really happened.
Oh, stop. The pitch was not that bad.
Wasn't that good, bro?
It was. I don't care. I still throw the first pitch. No, but like I said, it was cool. But like you said, you're standing there. I got the championship belt on. I got the mask on. I got the two buff, mascots there, and we're there with a little bubble gum.
Too funny.
Yeah.
Nah, but
time.
yeah, like I said, it is. It is a cause that I'm glad that me and the Broken Belts Network team are a part of. Like I said, me and Eric started this podcast 7 years ago just to have fun and bitch. I think me, Keith, and JV came up. We created the Hall of Fame. Well, JV wasn't there because his wife didn't tell him where we were on vacation. But me and Keith created the Hall of Fame Club podcast in Cedar Point, Ohio, on vacation at a water park, and then we went to a Cleveland Indians game. And we just, like I said, we just do this for fun, and to be a part of this, it's an honor, to be honest. Like, as much as it is this and that, it's an honor to be a part of this, because I feel like when one of the things that you had talked about, and I think it's something that we can do, is Kyle's. No, what is the lemonade stand?
Alex's
Lemonade.
Alex's lemonade stand. You said they do a lemonade stand in a box.
Mm-hmm.
That is your next big thing. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I am. I'm trying to find a test subject who wants to take me up on this one. So we've been doing this for so long. We kind of have it down to a science. We have equipment. We're willing to use the equipment, and we're really just looking for someone that wants to raise money for a family in need. And they would just reach out to us. The email address is homersforhope@gmail.com. That goes right to me. And if they want to run a home run derby at their local park, and it doesn't have to be grand like ours in the Trenton Thunder Stadium, I just really want to test out the idea that somebody I don't know can reach out to us and say, hey, I want to do something for a local family in need. And I want to essentially send them a box with everything that they're going to need and talk through it and test it a little bit, because we literally can only do what our volunteers allow us to do. Everybody always asks me, what's the next big thing and how are you going to, and it's like, if I don't have the volunteers, we can't do anything. And some years we do less than other years. And I'm totally okay with that. That's one of the good things about not having staff. We don't have payroll we have to meet every week. It's literally whatever we can do. Right. But I think that is kind of our next thing. If there are people that want to try something like that, let's see how difficult it is. Because I have a theory, but we have to prove the theory.
So I just want to go back to the volunteer thing. You got to remember, this event starts at 12. You guys are there at 8, and it's in August. It is hot. Like, it's hot. Like, it's not, and these guys are out there all day, getting water, shagging pot. Like, it's
some are out there all day. Others come in shifts.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, if somebody wants to give me an hour of their time just to volunteer, I'll find something for them to do. Yeah. The easiest thing is we have no end with the ability to be a ball shagger. There are other very cool specific jobs that you do need a little bit of on-the-job training for, like the guy who gets to hold the radar gun and measure exit velocity, or the other person that has the laser distance measuring beam, cool technology.
Which is crazy.
Oh, yo, we're like an ESPN thing minus the ESPN. I'm like one more piece of duct tape from being as good as ESPN.
You got Broken Bell Network, and who calls your game?
The South Jersey Sports Network. So we have multiple camera angles. We get 2 guys broadcasting it from them on our Facebook. Exit velocity, distance measurements, professional level PA guy. Our process for the field's down. We have judges on the field that are telling us whether a ball's a home run or not. We actually have a short fence to promote point scoring. So don't think like I'm going to a stadium and I have to be able to hit a ball 300 some odd feet to get a point. It's about 170 feet. That's how you score points. And the more money you raise, the more your home runs are worth, because while it is a competition, we want to level the playing field for people who can raise money. And over the years, we've had guys raise more and more and more money, and we had to keep making up new levels of advantages that people get, right? So one time we had a guy get to $2,500. It's like $2,500. That's a lot of money. Like that guy has to get something. So what did we do? We came up with, you can't be knocked out in the first round. You're cool. Go hit for fun. I don't know, So guess how much our all-time number is for one person raising for one derby.
I want to say
Let's say it was the guy last year. What was
Yeah,
probably up there.
Last year we were there
Like,
for that.
he was there, and
last
you're like,
second pay.
he's
Last
like, yep.
second donation.
He's
Tank-
like, I'm in
wasn't it
the
Tank Jake?
championship round.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andrew Ferretti
Yeah.
is his name, and it was $14,567 in one
Wow.
year for one event.
Yeah.
And then everybody else raised a lot of money too. But like, secretly I was like, Jesus, I hope he doesn't get to 15,000 because I have like no idea what else we're going to come up with to try to get him. Like
It's like the Golden Ball rule, like or something. Like if you hit it 90 feet, it's a home run. If you hit it to third base, it's a home run. Like
so here's what we came up with.
by the way, that's a good problem to have.
Oh, it's a great problem to have, right? We've explored all kinds of stuff like, can someone be able to hit a couple pitches from the mound instead of home or second base? I mean, like but one of the things that a rule we have, whatever your advantage is, it can't hurt another player. So it can only benefit you, right? So we haven't actually gone out to the mound or second, but we did think about it. In the Derby, you hit for 3 minutes. There's no breaks. So it's an endurance thing, right? It's totally endurance thing. But like if you break your bat and you have to get another bat, like the clock is going, man. This is your time. This is, hey, tough. At the end of the 3 minutes, you can take a quick breather, and then your pitcher throws one final pitch. So your pitcher has something to do with this. If you get a bad pitch on any of them, that's it. Like you have to swing at that last pitch. That's your last chance. But if you raise $10,000, they actually get 3 final swings. So then you're up there with no clock, taking your time, and your pitcher's just throwing you, and you get to pick. So for $10,000, that was the advantage there. And the last year, you said it came down to like the last pitch, and it mattered. And I think Corey did it because Corey got to 10,000 as well. He eventually won it on the last swing. He needed a 2-point home run, and he actually hit a 3-point home run. But the drama is crazy. The sidebar competition between a couple different guys that now have come to know each other through this. And one of the coolest, I got a million cool stories, but Brian McDermott. So 2012, Brian McDermott is the name of a guy who's a firefighter for the Bryn Mawr Fire Company. He also was a star running back at Westchester University. His senior year, he gets hit by a car and his leg is amputated. So his football career is done, right? And we get a hold of him as it's happening. And so we raise money for him. We pay his bills, and he was able to save up for this really cool, like, prosthetic, right? Doctors are like, it's going to take you a year to learn how to walk in it. He sent me a video of him running across the parking lot in 2 weeks. Like, he's just that kind of guy, right? So he says, I want to play in the home run derby. And I'm like, okay, you raise money, fine. And so we had to figure out some things. And Brian is the reason we came up with more advantages than we had in the past, because the dude raised like $10,000, right? So at the Derby, he's competing against all the guys. And one of them, he strikes up a friendly conversation with. That guy's sister was in the stands. That's how they meet. They get married. And every year they come back, whenever Brian competes, that is their family reunion, because he meets his wife as a competitor in the home run derby. And so every year, he's back there. His whole family's there. They got a bunch of tomato pie up in the corner. And he raises a buttload of money to help another family that was just like him, 12 years ago, 14 years ago, whatever.
Yeah, and just, I know, like, you send out your daily reminders of the email. Just remind them that, as long as you're okay with it, and like no one is going to be going around with, the stand going in on and interviewing people. I hope I hope they appreciate it and like it. I mean, yeah, it's cool for everybody.
No, they do. I mean, most of them are out of breath. So as long as you,
I was saying before, like, going in and out of the dugouts.
Yeah, he hit up a couple of people. They seem to be having fun with it. So you can see the family atmosphere of it all the way around for everybody that's involved. They're all out there having fun. They realize what it is. They want to be competitive, but it's a fun competition. They're out there cheering each other on. And I remember when Corey was coming up for that last couple of swings, everybody's like, he hits one and they're holding their breath, and then you get the when he doesn't make it, or like the cheers when he does. Even though you lost, but hey, it's great that this guy raised a lot of money. There was no real losers that day.
No.
So
it's good. Well put.
Yeah. So two things. Obviously, the future champ, as he
Eric lost that day.
Yeah, I did.
The future champ is the baseball director. So if you ever need a field to do this pop-up home run derby, I think Jeremy, we should get on that.
Yeah, we could probably work something out. If not at Parkwood, we could probably do it somewhere, like playing all of my kids from Parkwood, or a lot of them playing the RBI organization. So, somewhere around the city, we can find somebody that wants to put something on and help somebody in their neighborhood, because we play teams from Port Richmond, from Bridesburg, from the Northeast, Germantown, everybody. It's horrible to say that there's people that need help everywhere, but there's also people that are willing to help everywhere. So definitely, I'll hit you up after this, and
that was beautiful.
We could start working something out. So
yeah, great. It's a fun time.
No, it really is. It's like I said before, like I'm appreciative that the one, that we're doing this, and two, that you've included us. Like Chris from Drunk Phillies fans just put it all across the thing on a comment, and here we are a year later talking about doing it. Me, defending the belt, and then now we're talking about pop-ups, and it's just it's really cool. It really is. It's I'm glad that we're a part of it. I'm glad that these guys latched on and stayed with us, and Keith with his insight, and the future champ, and not the champ. I guess he changed his name. So
that was not staying up.
That's so disrespectful, Eric. I wouldn't even talk to him anymore.
But we're still looking for hitters for the regular derby. And we're still looking for podcasters specifically to join your podcast championship, because they are two different events happening at the same time in the same stadium with two different championship belts. So if anybody wants to be in the regular home run derby, even the GoFundMe link you have clicked there with the fundraiser 697, like that, right? If you go there, in the upper left corner will be the Homers for Hope logo. When you click that logo, it takes you to the main page. On that main page, businesses can learn about sponsorships. You can read the rules and all the fundraising levels. AJ Monto and his family's pictures there and their story. So you just hit become a fundraiser or fundraise now. I forget what it says, but that's how you register. So if you want to play, you create the fundraising page by clicking that, and that'll put you in the regular pool. And go ahead, Fuzz.
No, good.
Well, I was going to say, like, that's we can take people the night before, as long as they get $250 raised on their page by 6:00 the Friday night before. They can be in the Derby on Saturday, August 1st. Yeah, so that's the Broken Bell Networks page, and that's the Homers for Hope logo, right? So if you click that, that should take you to the main fundraising page, which it does. So become a fundraiser, and that's AJ, and that's Mikey Souls in the back. If you scroll down, you'll see when and where. You'll see the Monto family. And as you keep going down, you'll see their story specifically with what AJ's been through. And then a little farther down, you'll see the details of, there you go. Those are the rules and the fundraising levels and what advantages you get, so you can choose what level you want to shoot for. And then sponsorship, I think, is the next thing down. So
yeah. So real quick, get to the sponsorship. So what is it to get the? I just want. What is it? Facebook shout out and logo printed on the
dude,
back.
$250, $500. If you're a business owner and you want to be involved, $250 will sponsor a player. That's the easiest way. Every time the player comes up to bat, they'll be now batting for, Broken Bell Network, John Durso, right?
Gotcha.
So for $500, you get your logo on all the banners. And then at $750, you can get on the Jumbotron. But for your podcast people, we're going to do the logo on the Jumbotron at $500. So if they come through, when you email me at homersforhope@gmail.com, if you mention you heard about this on this podcast or on Drunk Phil's Fans podcast, the $500 level will put your logo up on the Jumbotron. And then you have other, more stuff as you go up the list.
It's funny. So when me, Jeremy, and Keith were on vacation, Eric had did a podcast with Toe to Toe Sports, and he wants to take part in this next year. And I was like, I told him right then and there, I said, for $750, you can have my spot. He was this close to doing it. He couldn't get off work, but I'm going to reach out to him and see if he'll still donate. But yeah, so yeah, and like I said, I'll get them there, and I don't need to reach out to Drunk Phil's Fans. You're taking care of that. They've taken care of you, I guess.
Oh yeah, I have their logo. They're all set. You guys are all set. We've got a number of fantastic sponsors.
And what's funny? It's funny is because in like the last like I said, I was on vacation, and I made multiple posts to spam this out and get this out, and we got multiple donations, and I got multiple text messages saying they want to come after me. They want my belt.
Well, now's a chance. Sign up and send me a note. Make sure I get you all organized in the right, in the right derby. But we got room for everybody up until that Friday night before, and even day of, if you want to be a ball shagger or volunteer. But we make it affordable. $250, you can just be involved. See, businesses don't get involved in this to we're not Amazon, and this isn't CBS, and this isn't Fox News. Like it's not, we don't have millions and millions and millions of people coming to this thing, but we have enough of the right people who are good people who do business with companies who support us. Our fans that we do have, the couple hundred people that show up, they do use the businesses that support us. They go out of their way to do it. So $250 is the easiest way. $500 gets you on the Jumbotron. Those are the two hot levels.
Yeah, man. I love it. I love Drunk Flyers Fans with their comment, because it's a great opportunity for other podcasters and other businesses. I'm telling you, from being there, any other podcast that's watching this right now, you're not going to be disappointed. It's such a fun day.
Yeah.
And like Chris said earlier, when we got on that field, we were looking around right as I took the picture of the Broken Bell logo that they had up there earlier on the big screen, just looking around, standing out in center field and seeing the names Jeter and Judge, up on the, their wall of fame that they have around the top of the stadium. I was like, God damn. I was like, wow, this is
well, it's even funnier now because, well, not funnier now, but it's more historic now because you've now played on the same field as Vladimir Guerrero Jr. People forget that they were a Toronto Blue Jays organization as well. What?
Yeah.
That's mind-boggling. I'm sorry.
We've had businesses do employee team building activities with this.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, companies are always looking for a way to get together. Well, here they are doing their volunteer thing, and next thing you know, their logo's in the Jumbotron, and the whole company is there, arms around each other with their logo in the back, and they've sent me pictures of the picture they took blown up in the boardroom, and they're like, hey, by the way, here's how we're using our time there, and I'm like, that's great, it's perfect, it's wonderful. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff you can do, and it's all for good people.
Yeah. And like you said, it's affordable. Like for some businesses, like getting the kind of exposure you'd get for $250 to $750, like it's easy exposure to get out there and get your name out there, and people see you. So
Yeah, you got a person
try to
that
buy a
plays
billboard
softball
for that price.
Yeah, you got employees that play softball. You want to stick them in this thing, put a company shirt on there, free advertising, right?
All right, so hold on. JV, do your spiel, and then I'm gonna.
So I put out on our show a couple of times that since I will be taking fuzz on that, if a company goes in and donates on our behalf and sends us their T-shirt, I will wear all of the T-shirts at dirt while I'm swinging and take one off every swing. Obviously, until I'm down to one shirt left, because nobody wants to see it after one shirt. So I'm still putting that out there. Send us your shirt, and I will be taking a shirt off. Hopefully, give Fuzzy an advantage by having me in like 20 shirts and sweating in the middle of August. But it'll be fun.
He's a size medium.
Size medium, yeah.
He's going to be cutting the shirts off. He's not going to be taking them off.
Yeah,
that's pretty funny.
So,
That's a good. I love a good gimmick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent.
I mean, because that's all he's got right now.
Right. All I got is gimmicks. So.
I thought that was, actually it's an interesting point. I'm looking through the chat there, and Derek, there was a chat from him about a 29 foot arc. And I think that was from at the time when we were talking about the EFIS pitch. However,
yes.
Couple interesting things about the Derby. So we buy the most loaded softballs they sell, right? These are not normal softballs. Funny story, the first year we ever did this, we didn't know that the balls they sold at like Modell's suck.
Wow.
You can't use them for this. One pitch, they're like, pfft. And after the first batter was done, we played an entire Derby with nothing but Frisbee eggs, like egg ball. It was terrible.
I didn't know,
dude. The champion hit 7 home runs, 7 100-foot home runs. Like, it was terrible. So we started learning about softball. So we buy these juiced stadium rated, like long haul bomber balls. They usually break illegal bats. So some of these guys, they do in the softball world, they do what's called shaving their bat. And that's like an illegal technique they're not allowed to use, but everybody does it, right? Well, you come here, that bat's going to break instantly because these balls are so rock hard. But I tell people, like, I literally don't care what kind of bat you use. You can use a wooden table leg. I don't care. Raise money, right? I also don't care how you pitch. And I have said this every single year at the meeting. We have a meeting at home plate before the event goes off. Kind of like Savannah Bananas. It's a pep talk. It's like, let's put on a good show for people. We go over the rules. And I'm like, I don't care how you pitch. You can throw overhand, underhand, high arc, speed pitch. I don't care. We have yet to have anybody be brave enough to throw overhand. And I don't know why. We have baseball players all of a sudden converting to softball, but they won't throw a softball overhand. I don't know. But you're allowed to do that. We don't care. You just raise money and put on a show. That's all we care about.
I never thought about trying to hit a softball that was pitched overhand to me. It's never crossed my mind. I might have to explore that. So, soft toss, yes.
Yeah.
Young Flyers fans, stand to the side and throw some soft toss up there.
That would be interesting. It would people would be very curious to see how that would play out.
So, I'm going to bring it up. It's when people sit there and think like, our goal is $2,000, but the change and the impact that you think as a volunteer, as a home run derby contestant, or as a guy just playing baseball on an over 85 or what is it, under 50 baseball league,
Over 85.
50
and you raising money for this family or that family, when you don't think you make a difference, I'm gonna turn it out over to John. And he's gonna read something.
Last year, Nancy Myers and her family were the recipients for the Derby. And afterwards, she wrote the most amazing letter. And I read it last year, and Fuzz asked me to read some of it. I could read the entire thing, but it is about 4 pages long, and it is very emotional. So I want to give you guys
The Cliff Notes,
the snippet,
Yeah.
but I don't even want to call them Cliff Notes, man, because it's beautiful, and I can't do it justice without reading it. Like,
Okay. Listen, the floor is yours.
But I'll take a couple snippets of it. But you got to understand, she's holding it together, and she's amazing, and she's super strong. Her name's Nancy. She's the mother figure here. She has 2 daughters and a son and a husband, and her son is autistic. Her son is diabetic. Her son has cancer, and there are times where they just don't know where the money's coming from. There are times where they have missed meals. As a family, they've missed meals, right? And you think about, all those nights that you're just coming home from work and you call your wife, you're like, yeah, I'm just going to pick up a pizza. That they don't know what that means, all right? So and we didn't know this, but for us to kind of, get a hold of them when we did, it was super important and super timely. So I just want to read you a little bit about, the letter she wrote. She says, I wish I could find the right words to thank you, but nothing could ever write fully. And she's addressed this to the Homers for Hope family, like you guys.
Yes.
Yes. We've been through so much. There are days I don't even know how I'm still standing. Joey's been fighting battles that no child should ever have to face. And as his mom, I carry the weight of the world on my shoulders every single day. There are mornings when Joey wakes up in pain, and I can see it in his eyes before he even says a word. There are days where his body is so exhausted from the procedures and the appointments that he can barely lift his head off of his pillow. And there's nights that I hold him when he cries and asks me why he had to get cancer and be sick. And I had to stay strong for him, even though my heart was shattering. And through all of this, I'm trying to hold life together. I'm trying to hold my daughters together. They've been through so much since his diagnosis. I just want them to have like a normal childhood and be happy and feel safe. And I know that they see more than I wish that they did. I know they see more than I wish they did. I smile for them while silently wondering how we're going to keep the lights on and how I'm going to put food on the table and how much longer I can keep all of this from just completely breaking me. I've sat in my car more times than I can count, crying silently so that my kids don't see me fall apart. And I've prayed for answers and prayed for strength and prayed for a break in the storm. We were drowning. We were trying to stretch every dollar just to survive. And the hardest moment for Nancy was when she saw her daughter realize how bad things had gotten. She did not even want to tell her, the daughter did not want to tell Nancy about a school trip because she knew they couldn't afford it. And she never wants her kids to worry, but she always wants them to be happy. And when she found out, it just broke her heart. They've gone to food banks, and she's never been the one to ask for strangers for help just so her children can eat. And she feels a lot of shame and pain in those moments that she'll never forget. And then we came into her life. She got a text saying that someone wanted to reach out to help her. And she says, I remember sitting in my car, clutching my phone and whispering, thank you, God. Because of you, everything shifted. You gave us something I'll never be able to repay. You gave me the reason to breathe again when I felt like the walls were closing in. You gave us relief so that I could focus on Joey's medical needs instead of wondering how I was going to keep the bills paid. And you gave my children something priceless, happiness. You gave us a night. Now, what she's referring to is at the Derby, the family comes to the event. One of our board members named Janet is their liaison, and Janet waits on them hand and foot. Anything they want for the entire day. They want hot dogs, burgers, beer, whatever. Janet goes and gets it. They don't have to wait in line. They don't have to pay. Anything from the merchandise desk, Homers for Hope stuff, they get whatever they want. It's a day where the goal is for them to forget about everything, right? So she says, you gave us a night where my kids could just be kids again, where they could laugh and smile and forget, even just for a little while, how heavy life felt. Watching Joey's face light up at the baseball game and seeing him truly happy and able to smile, not even wanting to leave until we got into the second half, that is a memory that I'll carry with me forever, and you need to know this. You did not just help us financially. You lifted us up when we were at our lowest. You reminded us that we're not alone in this fight, and you showed us that there's so much good left in this world. Thank you for standing up for us when we were falling down, and thank you for being our angels on earth. Joey is still fighting every single day. He faces a pain that no child should ever have to endure, and he goes on appointment after appointment after appointment, procedure after procedure, but somehow he keeps going. And because of you, he felt like a kid again. And that's a gift I'm never going to be able to put into words. I'll never forget what you've done for us, and thank you for all the guys and players and everybody involved with Homers for Hope. We will be forever grateful. And I keep that at my desk. You know, it's one of the things that you never really expect when you do this, but to know that everybody involved in this thing, everybody who got up off the couch like you guys who are involved in this can have that kind of an impact on a total stranger is exactly what we're looking for. And she's doing better, by the way. You know, it's been a year.
That was my next question.
He's still not out of the woods. They still have some things. But Nancy's amazing. Nancy's amazing.
Yeah,
she's got this.
So like you sit there and you think about like all the stuff that kid went through, and the kids who came up to me last year for my autograph, and that's why I'll continue to wear this and have fun with this, because I got to be a kid for 5 minutes last year. Other kids got to get excited for an autograph from some guy they don't know. Other people were laughing, making fun of me. You know what? It's for a good cause, and I'll do it every year until it no longer fits.
Till it no longer fits.
His head is expanding like the universe.
Yeah.
It just keeps growing.
That's what we're all about at Homers for Hope. Public embarrassment for the benefit of others.
Yeah.
Love
Listen, I watched a couple innings. Trust me, it is public embarrassment.
Yeah.
Well, so it was real quick. So before we
There, it's going to be a very good time. Cheap. I can't say it enough. It's super cheap day. And you just go out there. It's a really beautiful ballpark. They pour a ton of money into it several times over the years. And first Trenton, as the minor league team, did, and then the Yankees obviously were there for a minute, and then there was, the Blue Jays. But now they are their own league, right? They are the draft league.
Yeah, the MLB draft league. So what you have is on the teams that play in the league, people that are part of various organizations. So one team like the Trenton Thunder will have players that are part of the Phillies and the Red Sox and the Blue Jays, and they're just all on one team, and they can be called up at any time. So the actual Trenton Thunder baseball organization, the GM over there, John, he's fantastic to work with. So business owners, if you're looking to rent a suite, call John Bonder over at Trenton Thunder, because it's extremely affordable, and you can go to like a real baseball game and meet players that could be in the MLB someday. And Eric, Keith, to your point, they just redid the field. The field is brand new. They skinned it over the winter. It's pro level grass, which if you've never felt it, it's softer than your bed. It is.
The best way I could describe the park, I think, John, is if you take out like the best part of like a major league ballpark, right? You slice out the best parts, you put it in a nice, really compact form. Right, it's not overwhelming. To be honest with you, it's very manageable. It's very accessible. It is extremely catering to many types of families and their needs. It's a good day all around. Good feels. Even if you're not there to do any type of the hitting, and you want to take your family out for just a great day and having fun, I highly suggest it. August 1st at noon. Please join us.
And what's pretty cool is I won last year with 13 home runs, and then someone made an anonymous donation of $13. It was crazy. And then another thing, I want to add into the last year's home run derby is the kid, whoever it was. I think it was the guy's dad whose derby was. He was hitting home runs, and people were betting on him and throwing up hundreds. Like, come on, man! Like that's
our
that's
PA
cool shit.
announcer, Mike Lanza. He's a riot, and he's really, really, really good doing his job on the PA. But he interacts with all the players like while they're hitting. And to your point, Mikey Souls, the guy we've renamed the Derby for, he was a player and great guy. He played in 4 or 5 of our derbies, raised money for for other families, and he unfortunately passed away. And we've renamed it for him. And to your point, his son comes out, his son raises a bunch of money, and his son's not the biggest guy in the world, and he gets some home runs here and there. But as he's hitting it, the whole stadium is behind him. Everybody's cheering. And Mike Lanza, our PA announcer, is like, all right, I got $50 for every. I mean, now the PA announcer's throwing money out the window, like donate this to this kid, to match whatever home runs he's doing. It's something, man. It's just something.
No, it's like I said, it's for the pain that I'm in after the thing. It's not a half of what these families are dealing with.
Yeah.
So everybody that watches this, we thank you. It's an unthankable job. So, John, you have anything else you want to add before I turn it over to the future champ?
No, I want to say thank you to you for calling attention to us and bringing us in front of all of your fans and people. And anybody who wants to play, click the various links. If that's a problem, just email me, homersforhope@gmail.com. I will cater and wait on people hand and foot who want to be involved. If you just want to come up for the day and hang out, just show up. If you want to volunteer and have people shag flies, just show up.
So real quick, how many families have you helped? I feel like I've asked this before, but you've helped multiple families, and I feel like some of them have come back and helped.
Well, Brian McDermott's the most famous. Well, Brian McDermott and Janet Conlon. Janet Conlon was the wife of our first family, and she's on our board.
Okay, that's what it was. Yeah.
Right. And then Brian McDermott is our guy. I mean, he's like, if I had a Mount Rushmore, Brian McDermott would be one of the ones on there. But I think if there's any like kind of parting words kind of thing is, yes, we want softball. Yes, we want players but this might not be your thing, right? Like baseball's your thing, but Homers for Hope might not be your charity of choice. But if you have the ability to get up off the couch and do something for some charity, you have an obligation to do it because you can do it. There are plenty of people who can't do it and they want to help, but they physically can't, they mentally can't, they're not in a financial position to help. But if you're able to help, get up off the couch and do something about it, whether it's with us or somebody else, Alex's Lemonade Stand, whoever. But do something.
All right, that's it. I like that. It's a good ending. The future champ, who's gonna get us with a home run derby at Parkwood eventually. Yeah, take us out.
All right, thanks again, everybody, for joining us tonight. We really appreciate you coming in and watching this very special episode of the Hall of Fame Club podcast here on the Broken Belt Network. Again, thank you, John and Homers for Hope, for coming on and talking with us and for allowing us to be a part of this. Things coming up for us. We return to Tuesdays with our regular show on the 21st for Hall of Fame Club podcast. Check out Sam with the Flyers podcast that we have just launched the last couple of weeks. The Philly will be coming back very soon with training camp starting up soon. A lot of great things, and keep checking out Tyler on his videos. He's doing an amazing job there and really keeping it hype. So again, thank you, everybody. You have a wonderful night, and we'll see you on Tuesday.
And real quick, Tyler's hype video for when the Sixers sign LeBron is going to be wild. His hype video for Homers for Hope was insane. I can't imagine what this one is going to be.
Fuck the Mets.
Fuck the Mets is right.